That's beautiful. You want to find a new relationship, though.
Oh, yes. I
Right.
want to be married again.
Okay. Okay. So what are you doing about it?
Making life changes, coming back into our community here.
Right.
There's other things I need to be doing for my physical being.
Mm-hmm.
And the 4 things that you mentioned, I need to really look at.
Yeah.
Because the control piece, what you just said about I don't need to try and control life to survive, is huge.
And it just usually does not work. It just does not work. And maybe we can control a little bit of it, but it took so much energy to do it. It's just, oh, what are you doing?
I found it very interesting with what you were saying. Couples that have been married many years, dealing with quite a few of that.
Yeah.
And I feel that what's happening is with the empty nesters, the parents are looking at the kids and seeing the freedom they have nowadays, and how they were so controlled and suppressed that now they look at after 50 years marriage, 45 years marriage, what am I doing here? I only have a few more years to live. I don't know how long. And they want that separation, not to find somebody else, but to sort of find themselves and fall in love with who they are.
I think that's very often true. And if you find that in your client, why then go with it that way. And you are now working with them and finding out who they are.
One of the other things I really noticed is one of the parties of this marriage usually ends up being sick because they have so much resentment inside, and that's where they've been healthy all their lives.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, I see this diseases that are coming up, and it's all the emotional baggage that they're carrying that they don't know how to release.
Right. Yeah. Well, I know for myself, Zen was really the way that I would, but that's for me, that was my way. That's not necessarily anyone else's way. But I'd never been in therapy before. I decided to go check with a therapist. And that was really eye-opening because he could tell me about what I was dealing with. He asked me all sorts of questions. And then he just said, well, I hate to tell you, Sutphen, but you're fucked. And from his perspective, we're talking about a situation, I won't go into it because I shouldn't. But it was one of a very standard situation that where a woman finds herself at a certain point in her life where she has not completed things to need to complete. And so I looked at it from a therapy, and then I looked at it from past life regression as well. And I really found the answer in there. And I found it in the idea of the contract. That one would have a contract. We all make contracts, and if we had more time, I would do a back to, I call it a pre-birth planning session. But it's back to that time when you were in spirit and you were planning out this life that you're going to live right now. And you decided, I need to learn this, and this, and this, and I'd sure like to work everything out over here with Sally, or Jane, or Sam, or whoever I need to work things out. And if nothing else, what this does is it makes you realize, boy, I sure want to break away clean. Because I don't want a lot of resentment toward my ex-mate that is going to absolutely bring me back together with him again next time around. Now, maybe that's okay, but maybe it's not either. So, yes.
I had a situation very in my younger days where I was married to someone who was very controlling.
You were married to someone who was very controlling when you were younger. Okay.
And
I'm repeating this for the web.
I recognized that, and with the help of a family friend,
Yes.
And once I did that, I went down a road, or my life's journey and focus was to be financially and emotionally secure and independent. And I've certainly accomplished that. But now I find that it's very difficult, I think, or I feel as though men are intimidated by very independent women.
Okay.
And
So you did make yourself financially independent, emotionally independent,
right.
and now you feel that men are going to be intimidated by you because, just in general, if you are a strong woman.
Right.
Yeah, yeah. And now, if you stay with that assumption, that could very well karmically get in your way. You realize it. How's it working for you up until right now?
Well, that's what I mean. I've gone why we're here. That's why we're here, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, you don't want to say, by God, I don't need the relationship now. I'm going to become independent. I'm going to be da-da-da-da-da-da. And now you may have, in your mind, aced out relationship as a part of your life. But that doesn't mean you can't reverse it. You can reverse anything you want to do. So you created it, you can reverse that energy. Bring it back around. Are you doing anything to find the relationship? Action, again, going back to action. Are you?
Certain, on the personals and going to different church functions, community, cultural, you name it.
Sure. Sure. Have you done the wish board and the wish board? That's just where you spell out everything that you want in your mate.
No, I have not, but I've just heard about
Yeah.
you do that.
Ariel Ford, like I say, I just interviewed her on the show, and she's combining all the ideas of the law of attraction. Well, big deal. That's been here for a very long time. But if you go through those things, there's definitely going to be a value, especially if you can bring in the feeling part of it. And if you can want it with no indecisiveness whatsoever, that's the key. And you can bring in the feeling. I don't want to tell you how to do the law of attraction because everybody in here could probably quote that one without thinking hard. But it does work if you really, really want it bad enough. And you can get to the point of feeling it. So, anyone else? Anyone else here? Interacting on this? Yes?
Can you talk a little bit more about the wish board?
About you would just set up a board that would have symbols of your lifestyle on it. It might have generic, you don't want it to think in terms of one particular person, because if you are thinking in terms of a person that you want, you are now using black power, black magic, so to speak. So you don't dare visualize the person as an individual, but you can certainly visualize the kind of person. And so you are creating a whole, it's just a big panel, like a bulletin board. And I have a new relationship site, and my partner is Carol Morgan, PhD. Carol is a gender communication specialist, in other words, relationship specialist at Wright State University. And I just love this woman as a friend, as a co-writer.